BlackRock just stunned Ripple swell with $1 trillion news. Maxwell Stein, an executive at BlackRock, says that the world's financial systems are ready for blockchain to be used on a big scale. He also says that Ripple's infrastructure could soon be used to move trillions of dollars on chain. We're going to look into what was said and what it might mean for people who own XRP in the future. I have a lot of other new clips as well. I have not seen this talk with Brad Garleyhouse on the Coin Desk. That will be played. I got some other stuff from Swell that I haven't played on the channel yet. And there are also some really cool things going on with smart contracts on the XRP ledger. Make sure you watch the whole video, guys, because I'm proud to bring you new information every day. Let's get it. Let's go. That was the Secret Road acquisition that made it a little startled and then happy because it kind of shifted. You know, that's a new limb, right? Certainly, you will be going straight into the markets and talking to traders, big traders, and fast money a bit more. You changed the name to Ripple Prime since then. It is the first crypto-native prime brokerage with a real solid capital base, which has been a weakness of other crypto-native prime brokers. How important or not important is that strategy? Of course, it leans in with payments and security and other things, but this is a trading play, but it's also a way to get slow money to come in for citadels and fortresses to be able to participate in this market. They need a counterparty that has the cash and balance sheet to back them up. You know, I think that if we want the industry as a whole to keep growing, Ripple is clearly very focused on their income run rate has tripled. This is what I want you to understand. Since May, Ripple has tripled the amount of hidden road specific BU sinus that is run. What does that do? When I hear things like that, my mind goes in a million different directions. But the main thing I'm thinking about right now is how they were able to quickly triple the business here. It makes me wonder what kind of pressure this will put on other companies that compete with Hidden Road to upgrade to the same kind of infrastructure. This is true for everything Ripple does. When they buy a company, they bring their technology with them and are able to quickly triple the business. It puts pressure on the rest of the industry. And I'm interested to see the G Treasury, how well they're going to do, like how their growth will look now that Ripple is involved and how that will affect the rest of the space. Having all of these rivals in the blockchain space will only help us get bigger and grow. There will be some things that don't happen on the XRP system, but I think that if we can catch a lot of them, we'll be very successful, which is what we want to do in the end, right? Get things done. That's great for us, but it's also great for the business world. No, you can't deny that. After that, RLUSD and other tokenized goods were added, just becoming, and the company's reach from the people we've talked to has just gotten really big. Yeah, I mean, I kind of said that last year when I started my comments this morning. Because of this, the SEC was still fighting Ripple a year ago, which is crazy. Crypto moves quickly, so I think we do. You miss the big picture. You look around and think about how much has changed in a year. There are two big things we bought on the Secret Road for $1 billion in G Treasury. A really strong company that leads the way in stablecoin payments is called Rail, and we've bought a few smaller companies as well. There's no doubt that they are thrilled with the momentum, and the news today is the cherry on top, the $500 million coming in from some of the world's biggest banks, which have been, I think, a little more careful. Their permission has been given to them because some rules have Becky. Will this keep going while you build your really big financial services company? Yes. I mean, we're still going to work on being that kind of blockchain. Infrastructure is important for businesses and banking institutions. I think we will take a break from the MA free for a while. We have a lot of new things that we want to make sure we add in. My corp dev team would say that's what I meant when I said it was easy to sign a deal. The deal is harder to put together. It's also hard to sign the papers sometimes. But for now, we're going to talk about some great assets and leaders. How do we put all of those parts together? We haven't talked today, but G Treasury and I are the CFO dashboards for over 1,000 different CFOs managing payments worth trillions of dollars and so-called trapped capital deposits worth hundreds of billions of dollars. Part of our strategy is to let people use stablecoins and Ripple payments without forcing anyone to do so. Instead, we want to give people the choice to use stablecoins for payments and hold stablecoins as deposits to make them more flexible. Okay, so that's what I meant to say at the end, right? Now that all of these business partners are linked, it's possible to do all of this. Do you remember those 1,000 companies? They have a lot of rivals, right? Businesses that are going up against those. But when you give them all this new technology that gives them more control over their capital and lets them move it around and earn interest 24/7, that's what makes them different from other businesses. And that could make or break any of these teams that are fighting. Let's get this over with. Maxwell Stein, an executive at BlackRock, told Jungle Inc. that the global financial system is ready for blockchain to be used on a big scale, and that Ripple's infrastructure could soon move trillions of dollars onto the blockchain. Even the CEO of NASDAQ thinks that institutions will flood in once rules are put in place. The next big thing in business isn't coming. It's being built already. I just wanted to add this. No doubt about it, Maxwell Stein works for BlackRock on their digital assets team. He said that the world market is now ready for innovations based on blockchain, and that Ripple's work on infrastructure could make it easier for trillions of dollars to move on public ledgers like the XRP ledger. Don't forget that institutions didn't want to deal with for a long time. Public ledgers didn't want the deals to be known to everyone. Then, though, all the money ended up on these public bands. These are the places where banks will need that cash to move trillions of dollars every day. And it's been an open arms period for public blockchains like the XRP Ledger and Solana. A lot of institutional growth is taking place, which is good for the industry. So I made a whole video of the talk between Dina Friedman and Monica Long, the head of Ripple. That talk was really great. That was a few days ago. That was sent out. Please watch that if you haven't already. Some of the things that were said here were also said by Dina Friedman at RippleSol 2025. She said that once regulations are clear, institutional players are likely to flood into the blockchain space, which will speed up usage even more. Many people see Friedman's keynote as a strong support for Ripple and XRP or XRPL from traditional finance. This shows that blockchain technology is going from niche experiments to basic financial infrastructure. Leaders from BlackRock, NASDAQ, MasterCard, Fidelity, and other financial giants spoke at 2025's Swell Conference, which showed that institutions are making a strong shift toward tokenization, stablecoins, and legal integration. Most people agreed that Ripple's work had set the stage for real-world blockchain applications like payment settlements and asset tokenization. BlackRock's statements suggest that trillions of dollars could flow into the blockchain. I'll talk about this again because I think you've already seen it a few times. I also want to talk about some other things that I think are very important. If you really want to see that clip, I'll get to it at the end. Let's play this, though. Keep in mind that this comes from Reese Merrick, who works at Ripple. He is a senior executive officer at Ripple and is in charge of the Middle East and Africa. A lot of new ideas have come up in the UAE and South Africa, and new partnerships are beginning to form in Africa. That's because Reese Merrick and his team worked hard there. Okay, let me play this. Franklin Temple Digital Assets sent this to me. This is Sandy Call. She has a lot of clips that I've played. She's really cool. It would be great if we could bring billions of dollars worth of brand new assets that didn't exist before to the blockchain thanks to tokenization. These would include things like IP rights and sports team ownership that would be hard to manage on a large scale. Like this, there should be billions of brand new assets that have never been seen before. Yes. And this is Ryan Rugg, who is in charge of digital assets at Citibank. That's the woman sitting at this round table. This woman, I don't know who she is part of this group of huge people, right? Here at Ripple Small, the people who are in charge of building out this infrastructure are talking about what they see coming next. We need to pay attention to this. We need to pay attention to these people because they are in charge of handling tens of trillions of dollars around the world. They need to start telling us this is the future, so we should pay attention. Okay, Dennis Engel said that developers can now explore and test the XRP Ledger smart contracts feature on AlphaNet, a network just for devs. The innovative solution adds native Layer 1 smart contract features to the XRP Ledger. It combines the well-known design patterns of EVM-style contracts with the power of the XRP Ledger's built-in features and transactions from the bottom up. And Krypton Ritter said something about it. I'll show you what he said because I think he did a great job. You should follow Krypton Ritter because he posts a lot of useful XRP knowledge. A lot of what he says, I believe, and post says that the XRP ledger is about to go through a big change, and Dennis lays the groundwork for developers to play with. Test the XRP ledger smart contracts on the AlphaNet and let him know what you think. I think that smart contracts on the XRP ledger open up a lot of options, even for simple use cases or sample use cases. It sounds like we're talking about cross-chain bridges, new bridging protocols, DeFi protocols, swaps, perpetuals, and advanced trading systems. An interesting thing about the XRP ledger is that anyone can use it to build a complex trade system that works with its low cost, fast speed, and safety. It talks about issued tokens, staking benefits, and how tokens can be used